हेलो फ्रेंड्स, नमस्कार। स्वागत है आप सभी का यहाँ पे बैंक स्ट्रीम की एक नई अपडेट में। तो यहाँ पे अभी जो डिस्कस करने वाले हैं दैट इज़ क्वाइट इंपॉर्टेंट सिचुएशन ग्रिम। सो उसको यहाँ पे डिस्कस करेंगे। इंट्रोस्पेक्शन इज़ द नीड ऑफ द आर। सो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब टू चैनल अगर आप अभी तक चैनल के साथ फ्रेंड्स नहीं बने हैं तो चैनल के साथ जरूर बन जाना फॉर द लेटेस्ट बैंकिंग एंड पेंशन रिलेटेड अपडेट्स के लिए। तो यहाँ पे स्टार्ट करेंगे। दैट इज़ द फॉरम ऑफ बैंक पेंशनर्स एक्टिविस्ट एंड एसोसिएट्स ऑफ AIBRW प्रयाग। So situation grim introspection is the need of our how strange it seems when we see that about 8 lakh bank employees, the officers of public sector banks who are organized in various unions are prima facie united but are unable to do anything on many burning issues. Bankmen inherit the legacy in which they were heroes of solidarity and struggle fought from road to court against the jungle raj of bank management, and on the management of their continuous struggle and efforts they achieved unimaginable achievements like bilateralism, nationalization of banks, appointment of workmen officers, nominee directors on the boards of PSB. Not only this, raising the demand for a pension policy like central pension in the mid 1980s and achieving pension settlement in the 1993 was like making another the impossible possible. All this was the culmination of the great organization actions and diplomatic efforts of those days. In such a situation, the question is bound to rise that which what has happened today, that the entire banking community is feeling helpless, and what was once achieved is also slowly slipping away like sand from the fist. काफ़ी important है ये. So over the years, there are no workmen or officer nominee directors in the on the board of public sector banks, but all is well for the unions. So all office directors are the nominees of AIBOC, AIBA in 11 banks, and NCB in Holy State Bank of India to be designated workman director. So these are the three big unions whose representations are to occupy this creamy post. But since the top leaders of these unions are not to be appointed to this post, why should they be serious about it? Is the understanding of General Bankman. So it is a matter of thought when the three big unions AIBOC, AIBEA, and CBE are unable to implement the legal provisions of the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer of Undertaking Act 1970s and 80s, then it is foolish to think of other important demands. So there is no provision for pension revision. There is no revision for it. Pension revision has nothing to do with central pension or reserve bank pension. So there is no provision for permanentalization of temporary daily wage workers. Such rhetoric bankmen are seeing what which is provided in the act. Yes, what is the point of keeping silent about it? So this happening is proof that the unions have surrendered to bank management. We have clearly stated in our earlier articles how the managements are beating up self-proclaimed union leaders, nullifying legal agreements, making arbitrary transfers and promotions, and outside them from bank officers. So it is surprising that the management is doing this. Unions are silent. Leaders are afraid that when the management can do this, then the government can do anything. So, however, in this case of nominee directors, we can guarantee that if the unions had gone to court and sought some immediate appointment of workmen officer nominee directors, the government and the bank would have gasped come on knees. So the bank and the government would have no excuse not to do so. So forget about the courts. The union did not consider it appropriate to even give legal notices to the banks, or the government cannot override the statutory provisions, that too in case of banks apex. So the union did not consider it appropriate to even consider give legal notices to the banks or the government cannot override the statutory provisions. That is important, that too in case of banks apex managerial body banks board. Still there is constitution, acts and courts in the country to seek justice. So this is a message that is being provided by national convener Mr. J.N. Shukla ji, constantly working very hard